Hey, Charm Squad. Say hey, Charm Squad. Hey, y'all. Subscribe to my mama channel. Subscribe to my mama channel. Charm Squad, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Charmaine, so make sure you drop your blue hearts in the comment section below and also subscribe to my channel. Welcome back, you guys, and happy new year. Welcome to 2024. This is the long awaited labor and delivery video, and I really want to get right on into it. But before that, I just want to apologize for the wait because your girl is 6 weeks postpartum in 2 days now. But I wanted to make sure that I went to my doctor's appointment and everything so I can report everything back to you guys in one video. So let's go ahead and get into this labor and delivery. So you guys know, during my pregnancy, I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. All of that really took a toll on my body. So when I went into the doctor appointment on the 16th, my blood pressure was elevated. I had some swelling in my feet and in my hands. And at that point, they were like, look, we need to go ahead and induce you. But I was really, truly believing God to be who we know him to be. So I did not want any type of interventions or anything. So I actually declined being induced on the 16th. Later on that day, my mom and I actually had like a whole spa day. I mean, we did our nails, we did our hair, because I was supposed to get my hair done on Saturday. We just had us a whole entire spa day. But something in my spirit was telling me, like, Charmaine, go ahead and prepare your suitcase, get everything inside of your suitcase, because it may come sooner than what you think it was gonna come. So my whole thing was I wanted to go into this birthing process as natural as possible without any form of intervention or anything. So an induction to me was out of the way. But I got my suitcase together the night before and I put all of my items along with Jeremy items into the suitcase because God was really speaking to me and telling me, like, go ahead and get ready so you won't have to get ready. And lo and behold, Friday morning at 2:07 a.m., my water broke. It was a pop that I heard, and it wasn't loud, and no one else heard it but me. If y'all see me looking over, I'm looking over at my son. He's over here playing. Hey, man. Hey. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. When I heard that pop, it was like a release that went through my body. And it wasn't, I was thinking that it was gonna be like a big gush of water, but it was just a trickle of water that I felt that was going down my leg. So I got up that morning at 2:07 a.m. I went to the bathroom, I sat on the toilet, and I labored there on the toilet for about 30 to 45 minutes because I was trying to make up in my head, like, did my water just break, or that was just something that was in my mind? Like, did I pee on myself in the bed, or was this my water? So I just sat there and was trying to center myself. At this time, I was starting to have slight contractions. So I just sat on the toilet and I began to labor at home. Y'all would not believe the next thing that I did. I actually went back and got in the bed because I made up in my mind that my water did not break. But baby, when I tell y'all those contractions were contracting, they were contracting. So I sat in the bed trying to go back to sleep because I'm psyching my mind out. I rolled over to Jeremy. I woke him up. I said, hey, do not panic, but I think my water just broke. And I then got into my app and we started monitoring my contractions all together. So after about 3 or 4 contractions and monitoring, oh man, what's wrong? Looking at me? Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna hold him for a second. But after about 3 or 4 contractions through the app informed me that I needed to go to the doctor immediately if I wasn't already on the way. So I then told Jeremy, I was like, look, what do you want to do? Like, I am in some form of pain, but I'm not hurting as much. And we decide to labor at home. So I labored at home for about 2 hours, and then he went and woke my mom up, and we head on to the hospital. We made it to the hospital a little after 4 o'clock. All right, y'all, it is go time. It's after 3 o'clock in the morning. We're pulling up to the Women's Center. Mama, Jimmy back there. I have been having contractions since 2. I labored at home for an hour and a half. I'm okay. Trying to stay calm. Trying to keep everybody else calm. So we good. We finna have baby boy today. Y'all, I had only dilated a half a centimeter. And I was just like, I am in so much pain right now as far as like, well, not that much pain, but I am in pain right now as far as contractions. And I'm only a half a centimeter dilated. How is that even possible? So I talked about a lot with my birthright, my birth plan, and all of that. And look, y'all had a good little kiki, a good little cackle the Wednesday before I gave birth on live with my mom, because everything that I had on that birth plan, birth preference, however you want to label it, y'all, it came true. I want to link that live below, so make sure y'all go back and check that live out, because baby, y'all did me so wrong on that whole entire live. Y'all was just cackling with my mama. Y'all wasn't trying to take me serious or nothing. But baby, let me tell you, after the whole labor and delivery and everything, my mama ate every word. Every word. So I made sure that they had my birth plan, my birth rights, and everything like that in their system. And I also had hard copies. Not only did I have a hard copy for myself, and I gave everyone on staff a copy that was going to be with me personally. My mother had a copy, my doula had a copy, as well as Jeremy had a copy, to make sure everything goes to plan as possible. I know birth is a whole, you never know what may happen, but I am a very type A person, and I wanted everything to go as smoothly as possible, as healthy as possible. Even with my nurses and my doctors, if they had a question on something that I listed on my birth plan, they came and asked me. So I'll give you a prime example. On there, I did not want them to constantly check me down there. I did not want to do those checks so often. Y'all, throughout the whole 17 hours that I was in labor and at the hospital, I was only checked 3 times. When I first got there, another time, and then right before I gave birth, I was checked again. So I did not get hourly cervical checks down there. So that was one thing that they came and asked me about. Another thing that they came and asked me about is because on my birth plan, that I did not want them to ask me if I wanted pain medicine. I wanted to be vocal myself and say like, okay, I need XYZ. Okay, I need da 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 da. So that is how everything went about. So if you do not have a birth plan, or if you do not have your birthright for your state, because it does vary by state, make sure that you get that. Fortunately, my doula had that, and she gave it to me free of charge. So I will list someone on Instagram that I think that will do a phenomenal job, and that I know that is in the business to providing that information state by state. So I'll make sure I link her page in the description box below. From about 4 to 7:30 a.m. I am just back there in triage. I am in and out of sleep. My mother is in and out of sleep. Jeremy is in the waiting room, because in triage they only allow one family member back there at a time. So, you know, he was in the waiting area. We're just in and out of sleep. All right, so it's currently 5:08. I am, what did I say, Mom? Having contractions every 5 minutes, it seemed like. But I'm not in labor. My blood pressure is good. They only allow one person back here in this room, but 3 people are allowed when I give birth. They asked me, was I okay with Pitocin? I told them I don't necessarily want to do it. I am having a lot of leakage, like a lot. I'm leaking a lot, like, and you can't stop it. Yeah. Oh, and they can't find no vein. They done poked me 3 times already. So I told them to give me a second. Baby boy is still doing good. His heartbeat is still going. Mama over here.
I'm rubbing. I'm praying.
Rubbing and praying. Trying to keep her calm. So I can stay calm.
I'm calm.
But yeah. Ooh, these contractions, they coming back to back, I tell you.
It's a waiting game.
Stop. At 8:00 a.m., I was then put into my labor and delivery room at 8 a.m.
A quick little room tour, y'all. I think it. So you see their bed for now. Baby, I got this. I got this. Look at these lights. Look at these lights. A little bathroom.
Thinking like, okay, these contractions are starting to come. I've contacted my doula to have her to go ahead and be on her way. I am starting to feel the pain. So I'm thinking like, okay, he's gonna be here at any minute, like at any time. Everybody get prepared. Your girl is ready to go into labor. Y'all done check me again. I then was only 1 centimeter dilated. And I was in that much pain. I was like, ain't no way. So I labor all, not mostly. I don't even know why I mostly was even ready to come out of my mouth. My labor was in my back. Yeah, I have never felt that amount of pain in my life. Every contraction, Jeremy and my doula was pushing my back together, pushing the top part of my butt together. It was horrible. Every contraction was horrible in my back. I did not labor at all in my stomach or in my pelvic area. None of this was affected. It was all in my back. And I did not know that you can have back labor. And I found out the hard way. Oh, yup, and I was trying to record.
Calm down, man.
Baby's feet my back. Yeah, just stay right there. Stay right there.
Where my thumb at or my hand at?
Your thumb.
Oh, okay.
Go down. Oh, come inward, like towards my stomach. Right now. Oh. Yeah, I did.
Feel it too right there. It's right there in the end of the pocket.
And took foot slash and a couple of regular cow. With cream sugar.
My support team was so amazing. My doula came in with massage oils, and I had already had a birth playlist, and I'll make sure I link that down below. I had a birth playlist going, so all of my gospel songs was playing in the background. The atmosphere was absolutely beautiful. I was up moving around because I did not get an epidural or anything, so I was up just moving around on my little bouncing ball, doing my birth affirmations, meditating, praising God, and just trying to keep myself as level-headed as possible. I started to get Pitocin around 11, so I know that I wanted to do everything as natural as possible, but the amount of pain in my back that I was experiencing, and I'm still having back pain now, the amount of pain that I was experiencing, I was like, there is no way I can be here all day like this. Yeah, I had to come in because this entire part was recorded in slow motion, and I'm kind of upset about it, but it's okay. It's okay. I still have the footage, and I'm glad about that. But this is my doula, Regina, and I will have her information linked down below. Y'all, she was absolutely amazing, and I cannot thank her enough because, baby, she did her big one. It was just such a beautiful process. Yeah, from massaging me to getting me ice and feeding me Italian ice and jello and all of that, she was doing it. But yeah, I just wanted to hop in because this whole entire footage was recorded in slow motion, and I have like 45 minutes of nothing but slow motion footage. But like I said, it's okay. I'm not upset, but it's okay. So around 5 o'clock p.m., because your girl has been laboring all day at this point. The Pitocin was only given to me slowly because that's how I wanted it. I wanted my body to do what it naturally needed to do, but I needed some help apparently. So around 5 o'clock p.m., y'all, my pain was at a 10. My back was so swollen and so sore, and the top part of my hip and my butt was so swollen and so sore that even after I gave birth, I had to put myself in bandages like to compress my body together because everything was swollen. It was bad, child. A little after 6 o'clock, I got my final check. My final check consisted of them telling me that I was still 1 centimeter dilated. And I said, there is no way in hell I am in this amount of pain, no epidural or anything at this point. I'm in this amount of pain and I am only 1 centimeter dilated. Y'all, I requested to have an epidural. And I know that I did not want to do an epidural whatsoever just because of the side effects and everything like that. But I needed to get out of pain because I didn't want to cause any more harm or stress to my body. And I did not want to cause harm or stress to CJ's body. At this point, he's in position to come down. But baby boy was just real comfortable inside of me that he was like, look, I'm not coming out. But baby, mama was hurting. So when I requested the epidural, y'all, my mom was like, Dion, do not get this epidural. You almost there. You almost there. I'm like, mama, they just checked me. I'm only at 1 centimeter dilated. Da 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 da. Y'all, my doula was like, look, this is not what you want to do. Your birth plan states this. Y'all, at this point, I was hollering at everybody. I was like, F the birth plan. I don't care. I'm hurting. I'm ready to be done with this. I'm ready to be done with this whole birthing process. So When I requested to get the epidural, they had already told me that no one is allowed in the room except one person. And once again, my mom is the person that is in the room with me during this process. Jeremy and the doula stepped out. The doctor went to give two other women an epidural before he came to me. And this is very, very important, because looking back at it, I feel like God was telling me, like, look, you can do this. Your body is made for this. That's my birth affirmation. My body is made for this. My body is healing. My son will be here healthy. I just kept saying it over and over in my head. And I feel like God was telling me, like, this is something that you wanted to do as natural as possible. So I'm gonna make sure you get just that. So they said the epidural was gonna take about 20 minutes after he done already went to see two other women. So almost an hour has passed. Jeremy stepped out to go get some McDonald's. My doula stepped out to go grab something to eat from the cafeteria below. And I began to get the epidural around 6:35. He put that needle in my back, and I didn't know you had to be as still as possible. So I'm like this, I'm hollering, I'm on demon time. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I am straight on demon time. Like, I was making noises and saying shit that I have never heard come from my body. I can't even recreate the sound that I was making when I was in that amount of pain and I had to hold still through my contractions to receive this epidural. So yeah, he put the needle in my back, and I have my notes here so I won't forget. He put the needle in my back. Well, before then, they told me I was still only 1 centimeter dilated. Y'all, he put the needle in my back. He said it'd take about 25 to 35, maybe 45 minutes for the epidural to begin to trickle down and all that stuff like that. So cool. Everybody go and do their own thing. Y'all, how about I started to feel CJ come down? I am swatting. Like, I'm like a sumo wrestler. I'm like, I am getting in position. Baby, I see nurses and doctors running in from all over the place. Jeremy is not here. My doula, I said Jeremy was headed to go get some McDonald's. And my doula was still in the building. My mom called my doula because of my birth plan. I had everybody contact information. So I'm looking at my mama. I was like, call him down. Cause if you don't be here for me pushing out our son, baby, I'm gonna have a whole problem. So I'm looking at my mama and she over there fidgeting, trying to call. She like, Dion, I just called her. It seemed like CJ was there, y'all. He over there smiling. He's asleep right now, but he's smiling. Y'all, I looked over there at my mama. I said, call him right now. Y'all, at this point, cause I had been hollering and hooping and cussing, my mama's like, God damn it, I called you. She was like, God damn it, I called him. So one of my nurses actually tried to call Jeremy, but by this time, baby, Jeremy was running through the door and CJ was almost out. So Jeremy, he gets on the side of me, y'all. It was the most beautiful experience. Like I said, I had my birth playlist going. The song that was on was Break Every Chain. And y'all, it was a worship experience in there. I'm telling you, I'm up there singing. I'm crying. Jeremy is speaking my birth affirmations in my ear. He's kissing on me. He's looking. I had my mirror. So y'all, let me tell y'all something that's real funny. I stopped mid contractions. I got CJ out in about 10 pushes, but I stopped mid contraction to have them to adjust the mirror. Cause somebody must have bumped the mirror and I couldn't see, and I wanted to see everything. And that's one thing that I will say, because on my birth plan, I told them that I wanted to be informed as possible. So I want you to tell me what you're doing, tell me what's going on and all of that stuff like that. So I guess somebody in the room didn't know that I wanted to be that well informed, because baby, the people that knew, they was like, okay, look, this is what's going on, this is da 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 da. So baby, I stopped mid-contraction. They positioned the mirror back so I could be able to see. There's like some residue that is on the top of your lady parts, and it was like a grayish type color. Y'all ain't know what the hell that was. I stopped mid-contraction and asked them what that was, and my nurse that had been with me all day, she was like, that's just part of the birthing process. Your son is coming out. This is birth just coming out. I was asking questions. My mama was like, Dia, stop asking all these goddamn questions and push this baby out. But I wanted to know and I wanted to see. And y'all, let me tell y'all, so y'all know I am plus size. My hips are big, baby. They had two peoples on each side of my thighs, and you should have saw when I was pushing to put chin to chest and I was going down like this, baby. Looking back on it now, everybody was just going forward. Everybody was going for it. So when I was pulling my hips back to my knees and my hips back, and I was pushing down like this, everybody was going forward, baby. I gave them folks a run for their money. And shout out to my doula, baby, because the amount of money that I paid her should have been tripled. I'm just gonna say that for real. Did a phenomenal job. She was on my right leg, holding my thighs back, putting it up and pressuring it all out. So now I told you I got that damn epidural. How about the epidural did not even take effect? Your girl had the boy natural, unintentionally. I went from 1 centimeter to 10 centimeters just like this. So either they was lying, or God was like, you wanted to do this natural. I'm not gonna let this stuff trickle into your vein, even though you do have the needle in your back. You finna push this baby out. Y'all, I tell y'all no lie. The guy put the needle in my, it took him longer to set up. Put the needle in my back, and I had CJ within 5 to 10 minutes of all of that happened. The epidural never made it into my body whatsoever. And I even looked at my billing summary once everything was done. Y'all, they only charged me for the needle. They didn't even charge me for the medicine. Let me tell you how good God is. So amazing. When you speak what you want out into this world, and as far as for me, I wanted a healthy, safe pregnancy and delivery. And y'all, I got just that. I have a beautiful son.
That's it, right? One more time. Go right down to your bottom. You gotta get it out.
There you go, baby. Bring you, baby. Bring you on this job, baby. Bring you on this job, baby. Bring you on the great job, baby.
I want you to practice like you're going underwater. Take a deep breath in.
At the time, he was 6 pounds, 15 ounces, and 19 inches long. He's almost 8 pounds now, and he is 6 weeks and 2 days old. It was such a beautiful experience. Such a beautiful experience. And I am so forever grateful that I got to experience it the way that I experienced it. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was so amazing. Minus that back pain, I could do it all over again. That back pain, y'all could take that somewhere else. I'd rather hurt my damn toe. Minus the back pain, I can do it all over again. And I'm just so glad that I did not listen to what the doctors were saying as far as me having gestational diabetes. I listened to what my body was telling me, and I listened to what God was telling me. What he had already affirmed in me that I was capable. Because if you guys know my story, I was told that I could not have kids. I had an ectopic pregnancy years ago, and I was told that I would never be able to produce a child. And for me to have my son in the most natural state as possible as I could have was a blessing. It was so beautiful. I felt, oh, I don't want to cry. I felt my dad present there. I felt God there. And y'all, this boy came out looking just like my dad. Y'all know my daddy died April the 15th, the day after my birthday of last year. And I had just found out I was pregnant the week before that. And I'm so glad that I was able to tell him that I was pregnant. But y'all, this boy came out high yellow just like my father. It was so It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. That was my whole birthday experience. My aftercare was, I went to I forgot what the room is called. Someone told me in my comments on one of my realistic routines videos, someone told me what it was called, but the room that they take you to after you give birth, I went there around about 8 to 9, almost 10 o'clock that night. Jeremy took my mom home because they only allow one person back there in the room with you. So he took my mom home, and I'm glad that he did, because it gave us a chance to just sit there and be like, this just really happened. Wow, we really just had a child. It is currently 10:20 p.m. and I cannot believe that I had my son at 6:56 p.m. My mind is blown right now. God is so amazing. God is so amazing. Jeremy just went home to take my mom to the house because only one person is allowed upstairs. But oh my God. God is so amazing. Look at him. All right, I'm finna rest and I'm finna go back to bed. Let me touch on the staff. The staff was absolutely amazing. And luckily, I was there in the morning time until into the evening, into the night shift as well. So I was able to meet the people that were gonna be caring for me that morning, later on that night. And it was such a beautiful experience, y'all. We ordered them donuts before we left, and I just thank them to the bottom of my heart. I thank them for hearing me, because one of my fears, and I put this on my birth plan, my fear and anxiety around giving birth was being a Black African-American woman giving birth in a hospital setting. I put that on there, and I was so happy how heard and how seen and how well taken care of I was. And I don't think that I would have gotten that if I did not prepare the way that I prepared. So, you know, having that birth plan, knowing my birth plan, knowing my birth rights for the state of Georgia, I think it instilled a level of good fear into them, and it instilled confidence into me. So if you have the opportunity and if you're expecting, please do your research. Please educate yourself. Please plan accordingly. You guys, that is my birth story. I did not want this video to be too long, but I just wanted to bring in 2024 explaining my whole birth and labor experience. And right now I'm gonna answer a couple of questions that I had gotten on some of my social media platforms. So if you're not following me over on Instagram, TikTok, or here on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you could be able to be in the community of the Charm Squad, and you can ask me anything that you need to ask me. And if I miss any questions or anything that you're thinking while watching this video, please comment it below, and I will make sure that I answer you or make another video and get to answer that question. So one of the questions that I received was, how much was my doula? My doula was only $500, and she's experienced. If you're in the Atlanta area, I will have her Facebook page listed down below. I'm not gonna put her number out there, but I would have her Facebook page listed down below. And I said that I should have paid her so much more money because of the service that she provided was so phenomenal. I had a total of 5 visits with her. So we met to have our consultation, get to know her, get to know us. The second one was she showed me how to prepare for birth, and that was another thing that was very helpful. How to be on the ball, how to do stretch exercises and all that stuff like that. Any questions or anything that I had. The third visit, y'all, she was there my entire pregnancy. Like when I told her to come, she was en route to be there. So from 9 o'clock until like 9 o'clock that night, you might as well say, she was there. She also encapsulated my placenta, and I'm still taking my placenta pills. I'm almost done. She encapsulated my placenta, and we did it was only 4 visits. And we did an aftercare visit. So during the aftercare visit, she was supposed to prepare my bath and all this stuff. Like, y'all, she done seen me all type of ways. During the last appointment, she was gonna do this healing ritual with me, and I'll pop up the things and stuff that she brought over, but I decided to not do it. So she just packaged it for me because I wanted to wait my full 6 weeks before I actually sat down in a tub with anything. And it's just dried herbs and stuff like that, and lemons, not lemon slices, but orange slices. But I did not want to risk anything down there. But your girl looking good because I had my 6 weeks appointment today, so your girl is looking amazing down there. Why did I get a doula? I got a doula because, y'all, I was afraid to give birth in America. That's the long story short. I was afraid to give birth in America, and I wanted a peace of mind. You cannot put a price on having a peace of mind. And I wanted an advocator for me other than my family, other than Jeremy and my mother, because I did not want to put that much pressure and burden on them on helping me educate myself, learning all of this and all of that. I didn't want to put that burden on them because I knew that I was going to have to rely so much on them after the fact. So that's the reason why I decided to get a doula, and it was the best investment that I could have ever asked for. Did I get an epidural? So yes, technically got the needle, but no, I did not get the epidural. If y'all paid attention to the birth story, y'all see that. But so yes and no. Did you experience the ring of fire is another question that I got. So no, I was preparing myself. I prepared myself to experience the ring of fire. I even have it on my birth plan to have buckets, a bucket of ice and a bucket of water right there, just in case if I experience the ring of fire, that once my son got out, baby, y'all pour that ice and that water on my hoo-ha and let it cool off. But no, I did not experience the ring of fire. The only pain that I experienced is in my damn back. Someone else asked me, can you believe you a whole mother? I love how y'all put it, because I'm like, I'm a mother now. Someone asked, can you believe that you a whole mother out here? No, I cannot believe it. I'm looking at him now. I look at him every day, every second, every minute, and just be like, wow, I am a whole entire mom out here to a child that I birthed. And it is the most beautiful feeling ever. Like, I have never felt this amount of peace, love, and admiration in life. And I can't believe it. No, I cannot believe that I'm a mother. On a scale of 1 to 10, birthing, laboring, pain. So on a scale of 1 to 10, in the beginning, I'd say about a 2 to 5. In the end, it was definitely a 10. It was most definitely a 10. But it was only a 10 because of my back. Me pushing him out, no pain whatsoever. None of that. That didn't hurt at all. It was just my back, y'all. I don't know what it was. I should have prepared more for my back, but I did not know there was an area that I needed to prepare for. But yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just gonna say a 5 in the middle, because me pushing him out of me did not hurt whatsoever. It was like a gush of water. It was just a relief. It was just a relief. Do I recommend a birth plan? Yes. Yes. If you take nothing else from this video, you need to have a birth plan and have your birthrights. Know your birthrights and have a birth plan. Even though things are not gonna go 100%, you need to have some type of plan so you can prepare yourself mentally going into having a child. So yes. What is a birthright package? So a birthright package is, and it's catered to your state, but it's everything that can and cannot happen during your labor. Knowing your rights as far as knowing what they can and cannot do to you. Oh man, you waking back up. I encapsulate my placenta. So I'll put all of the benefits of encapsulating your placenta, but I wanted to put everything that came out of me that is healthy back inside of me. Long story short, and I had read and watched so many videos about placenta encapsulation and the benefits and the nutrients that you get back. I wanted all of that back. I did not want it to go as medical waste, even though it's not technically medical waste. Are you exclusively breastfeeding? So, and that's the last question. So I was exclusively breastfeeding. I was exclusively breastfeeding for the first entire month. Unfortunately, my son developed thrush, and y'all, it did some things to my nipples that I have never seen before, and it, just look it up. I'm gonna just say that. So in order to keep him safety, in order to keep me safety and in a positive mental state, we are doing a combination feed. So he's getting breast milk because I am still pumping. He is getting some formula, and yeah. And once they clear him, I may try to breastfeed again, but as of right now, I am only pumping, but meeting him with formula throughout the night, just because I did not want to be the only one to have to feed him, because breastfeeding journey is a whole nother journey. Like, you have to feed your child every 2 to 3 hours, and I needed some sanity and I needed peace. And in order for me to get that, I needed other people to be able to feed him while I rested, because at the end of the day, a fed baby is the best. I don't care if you're exclusively breastfeeding. I don't care if you're exclusively doing formula. I don't care if you're doing a combination of both. I don't like the stigma around people in this whole breastfeeding talk. I do not like it. Whatever you have to do to make sure that your baby is properly fed, that is what you need to do. So we ain't gonna even go for that in the comments. If I see anything like that in the comments below, I will delete and block you. Period. So long as my son is fed, I am happy. So I am doing a combination as of right now, and once he goes back to the doctor to make sure his thrush has cleared all the way up, and once my nipples are healed, I may revisit breastfeeding. But as of right now, baby, formula and pumping it is. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you comment below any other additional questions, and thank you guys so much. Like, share, and comment, and I will see you guys on my next upload. Bye.